All right, welcome in everybody to the In Off the Bench podcast. It is Monday night and it's an awesome night, Daniel. We got an absolute stud in here. Cole, how are we doing?
Good, good. How are you guys?
Man, we're awesome. And I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into these icebreakers so we can get into your story and talk South Carolina baseball. First of all, got to know, Super Bowl's on deck. Forget who's playing and who's going to win. I got to know when you go to a Super Bowl party, what's the must-have like food item?
Oh man, probably like buffalo chicken dip.
Solid. I
Got
agree.
gotta have it.
Daniel, you feel the same?
Anything buffalo, buffalo
Yeah,
wings, buffalo dip, buffalo sauce. It don't matter. Anything buffalo, you're gonna win.
Except the Buffalo Bills, clearly.
Well, clearly they are not there.
But that all jokes aside, I don't have too much of an interest in the game, but I don't know. Let's pick for fun, man. Who you got winning it, Cole?
I mean it's hard to bet against Mahomes. It's hard to choose against him, but I think, man, I don't know. I think the 49ers. I mean, my pick's the 49ers just because. I mean, they got Debo from South Carolina, Devon Kinlaw from South Carolina. Grew up watching those guys, so I'm going 49ers.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to go with you, but I agree with what you said right off the top. It's hard to go against Mahomes. Daniel, what you got?
You already know. You already know my philosophy. You're the
The
champ
champ, so you're
until
beating?
somebody
That don't
beats you.
mean you got to pick them.
I'm picking them. I'm I'm putting a house on them.
So something I didn't have on here on the icebreakers, Cole, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, man. Like, how's hunting season been?
Uh, it was kind of slow for deer, I'd say. And I guess ducks, and it wasn't as slow for doves. I killed two deer early on. Then I ended up killing three the last day, and then ducks. We've had good hunts every now and then. It's kind of been slow. Went out to Arkansas for a week, and it was kind of slow out there. Um, Doves. I mean, you're gonna have a great shoot opening day of dove season. I mean, it's kind of given.
Well, because Daniel's in Florida, he doesn't really understand the whole weather when it comes to hunting because it's always nice and warm there. But a lot of the baseball players, Daniel, it didn't get to be the right weather until they had to report back for baseball. It
Yeah,
conveniently
that's right.
got cold when they had no more time to hunt.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like when we went to Arkansas, everywhere up north wasn't frozen yet, so there wasn't a ton of migratory birds, and I'm sure all those guys that you've asked could probably say the same thing. And when that cold front hit, when we had to come back, it got really good. So,
Yeah, no doubt. So, a question that developed last week in a group text of us older guys: at what age are you too old to use Snapchat?
I don't I don't know. I think it's different for each generation. Like I feel like my generation might use it until we die. Like I don't think there's an age limit.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, but that makes sense. You brought up a good point because you came up with it. But I say that guys like me and Daniel have no business on there is my whole point. Because I got asked if I had a Snapchat and I said I had never done it before. It's so much so that I said I'd never sent a Snapchat before. And Daniel goes, it's called Snaps, and you really revealed yourself because you called it sending a Snapchat. And I was like, I don't. It ain't me. It was after my time. But I was
Yeah.
curious because I know some
Look,
cats my age and maybe should jump off there.
look, bro. You don't need any other forms of social media. Your hands are full. You
Hey,
don't.
Cole likes my social media life. I be going to war for South Carolina,
There you go.
I
There
mean,
you
which is
go.
crazy because I went against y'all last year because I was hating. But you know what? The wild thing, and we're gonna get into it. It's actually the
behind just
respect.
remember this. Just remember this,
No,
Cole.
it's the
Behind every social media warrior, there's a best friend that has to walk them back.
Oh yeah.
You know what? We'll get into it later. Why I switched my whole perspective of South Carolina. I don't want to ruin that yet. But uh, let's ask this question. Favorite musician or band like the go to right now. You get into the car truck. What you listen to?
Probably old Jason Aldean right now. I'll be honest.
Daniel's
Definitely.
favorite artist.
Oh, love Jason Aldean.
Daniel and me are not the biggest country guys, but it seems to be the common thread between most of you guys. So we just roll with it. And last one, man, and I'll let him get into your story. This is a sports show, so ultimately, if you could pick any athlete right now, active, who's the athlete when they're on TV, doesn't matter what the sport is, you want to tune in and watch.
It doesn't matter the sport. Probably LeBron right now. I mean, it's kind of cool to see what he's doing at what age he's at, and watch him
He's
growing up.
literally our age. Exactly. He was born the
Yeah,
same year as us, and he's getting it. Me and
pretty.
Daniel ain't getting on a basketball court.
No, I mean it's pretty cool to watch. I mean, obviously you got all the great baseball players, Shohei, Acuna, those guys, but other than baseball, like definitely LeBron. He's a beast.
What obviously it's at some point LeBron's going to be done and you're still going to be, a big sports person. Who then? Like who are you going to like when you have kids, who are you going to be like you should look at this guy and mold your game after him? Is it always going to go back to LeBron? Because I think we always tend to go back to Jordan. We always tend to go back to Kobe and guys like that. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming LeBron's always going to be like the staple marker.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for like my age group, like because we watched them growing up, just like you guys watched Jordan and Kobe. So I mean, I guess it's just kind of like I think MJ's the GOAT, so I can't really say much about it. I mean, I'll tell my kids one day that they need to watch the Kobe documentary, the MJ documentary.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them. Just follow one
No.
of the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I'm sure when it's all said and done, LeBron will have a whole documentary series, and it'll be amazing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't discredit anything. And I say this, and we've had this discussion a lot on the podcast, is when you're that young and you can live up to the hype. And this is why, I'm not a Phillies fan. And I don't necessarily think I was a Bryce Harper fan either, but I can respect that dude just for the fact that when you have that pressure to be this at such a young age and you turn out to be who they said you were, if not better, like that's impressive to me.
Yeah, you got a point.
So speaking of impressive, let's get to your story, man. You mentioned the 49ers and some guys from South Carolina you grew up watching. So are you a South Carolina guy? You from South Carolina?
Yeah, so I'm from right outside of Charleston, Somerville area. Grew up watching the Gamecocks. This was my dream school. Went to tons of football games, tons of baseball games. My dad's a diehard fan, so it was just my dream school.
So you mentioned dad, diehard fan. You got mom, dad, brother, sisters?
Yeah, my mom actually graduated from Clemson.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So it's funny. And then I have a brother who's actually committed to play at South Carolina, and then I have a sister who's sophomore in high school and plays volleyball.
So mom being from Clemson or being a Clemson grad, how does that work during the holidays? I mean, you guys good?
I think, yeah. I mean, we're definitely good. I think when it comes to baseball, she's a Carolina fan now, but I mean, still with football, it's still a rivalry. And
Well, how did she feel about this?
Here's a pitch. There's a high drive. That ball is way back. That ball is going to be off the roof of the building beyond the Green Monster. Cole Messina has just hit one a country mile.
so, a funny story. She actually showed up to the game, and then my sister was playing volleyball in Spartanburg the same day. So she had to leave early to take her because my dad was at home with my brother. So she was watching on her phone, and I got on my phone after the game. She says, and the text she read me was, "Next time you do that, you better run the bases and not pimp it."
Look, man,
That was the text I got when I got on my phone. So
the video clip that I pulled that from, it's so funny. You see the swing, you hear the initial pop off the bat, and you kind of see a glimpse of the ball coming off the bat, but then it pans straight to you, and it's just you just bat flip, getting after it in the dugout. You probably missed first base. I mean, I don't know. Like, no, that's a typical mom response, though.
oh yeah.
I mean, you absolutely mashed that ball, and it just kind of proves the fact that as we get into your story, like you probably grew up, you know, with family into sports, and with that, was there any pressure to be an athlete or to play lots of sports, or is that just something, you know, you watched it on TV, you were just in it to begin it?
Nah, I mean, I think I just kind of fell in love with it from like TV and stuff. I never really felt any pressure, you could say, to like being in it. Like dad always said, like whatever you want to play, you can play. So like I wrestled, like basketball, played football, like growing up, and I just fell in love with baseball.
Well, the when I think about you, I think about just a dude who mashes from early age all the way up till now. Was that the case? Were you just a kid who just hit bombs all the time, or was that something that you kind of figured out as you got older, how to swing a bat and how to do it effectively and efficiently? And or is it just like, I'm gripping and ripping, man? Just
I mean, there was definitely like a learning stage at each age level, I guess. Like faster pitching, like as you get older and learning how to move correctly. But yeah, I mean, you could say that like just kind of a grip and rip, just try to hit as hard as I can. Just kind of always like the bigger kid and felt like I almost had to.
so I'm assuming you started baseball from as early as you could pick up a ball or a bat.
Yeah, definitely. Like I don't even know what age you can even sign up for T-ball, but just whenever I was allowed to, I could.
You were probably playing like you were probably able to hit the ball over folks' heads at like 3, and they were like, "Oh, you got to be 5," and your mom and dad was like, "Oh, he's 5."
What I need to know is he started talking about the athleticism of his siblings. I just need to know who's the best athlete in the family. That's what I've been pondering.
Best athlete is,
Yeah, best athlete.
Look,
probably
bro,
my
I saw
brother.
Cole mic'd up playing second base, bro. I
No, best athlete's my brother. He's definitely the most athletic. He can pick up a basketball and go dunk if he wanted to right now, or
dang.
throw a football 50 yards. I mean, he's definitely.
So, I mean, are your parents? I mean, you got three athletes in the family. Y'all had to have gotten it somewhere.
Ah, well, I don't know. I mean, dad played college football. Mom played softball in high school. I don't know where it came from though.
Well, wherever it came from, it's there. But you mentioned LeBron earlier when you were talking about favorite athlete now. But growing up, as you started getting into athletics, who was your biggest inspiration? Was it an athlete or was it somebody else?
Uh, Honestly, probably my parents. Like I don't like love to just sit down and watch sports. Like if the Carolina team is playing, I'll watch, but I just get kind of bored. I feel like I'd much rather be playing or doing something. So I think definitely my parents growing up, just how they went about their business every day and how they treated people and whatnot.
Good role models, good examples. Obviously, you want to do right by them. You want to make them proud, and man, you did that. Obviously, you hit 492. You had 29 runs scored, 8 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, 641 on base percentage, a 708 slugging percentage, and that was your senior year of high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to Somerville High School.
All right, so at Somerville, you led them to a 5A state championship appearance in 2021. You were the South Carolina Baseball Player of the Year in 2021, All State, All Region from 2018 to 2021, and you were ranked the #1 catcher and the #8 overall player in the state of South Carolina by perfect game, and that was in 2021. So, would you contribute your success, because that's quite a list of accomplishments? Would you contribute that to high school or more so travel baseball? Because I mean,
Mm,
when I look at that, man, like you're it's not like in high school you're playing state championships. I mean, you're player of the year, like you're all state and all region. Those are high school accolades. I mean, obviously the travel had to help boost that, but like you're not playing slouch competition to be able to do that in South Carolina high school ball.
I'd probably say both. Um, my high school coaches, like, were my coaches when I was 9, 10 years old, playing travel ball, and one was the shortstop for the Citadel when they went to the World Series a while back. So I mean, they're great coaches and whatnot, but I think the competition in travel ball, like the players and the coaches and everything in travel ball, really did help as well. So I'd say both.
What travel ball team did you play for?
I played for the Canes.
The Canes. I mean,
Oh yeah,
definitely when you hear names of teams, those are, there's probably 10 or 15, high quality organizations around the country, and they're definitely one of them. So when you throw that name out, I immediately know, like, the coaching, one, that you're getting the development, the exposure to competition, where you're playing, and how intense it is. So obviously the idea behind travel ball is you're going to play the best of the best, but obviously have the potential and ability and opportunity to play at the next levels. So at what point do you start getting recruited?
I think it was my freshman winter. I went to like this. We have in South Carolina. We have like it's called Diamond Prospects, and they put on like showcases for in-state guys for all the schools in state to come to and whatnot and see you. And South Carolina reached out after that, talked to them, played a whole high school spring, and then halfway through that summer, the following summer, they offered me and I committed.
So was it South Carolina the only school? I mean, obviously the way you've talked about South Carolina athletics as a kid growing up, it seems like it was South Carolina or a bust for you. Is that the
Yeah,
case?
it's my dream school. I mean, I wanted to be close to home. Like I'm a family guy. Like I like having my parents and brother and sister come to games and whatnot, and I like to be able to go home and hunt on any given day. So
I would ask, like, why South Carolina, but obviously you just answered it. So I'll ask you this. Did you take a visit? Did you go experience to college, or had you been there enough, like you knew what you were getting into?
I guess you could say I've been there enough. I never took a visit. I took unofficials, like because that's before the rule change or whatnot. So I never had like an official visit and COVID and whatnot. So I mean, I guess you could say yes and no. Like I never like got hosted by players and whatnot. It was all just like, hey, come to a football game, eat lunch with us, hang out. So
So when you get to Columbia, one of the first things I want to talk about, like there's three places that I really want to go. And that is Founders Park, that's out to Bowie's Creek, and then to the jungle at ECU. You know, Founders Park is just beautiful, but more so when we interview SEC players all the time, they say that it's, everybody talks about Baum Walker, they talk about Duty Noble, they talk about, Alex Box, but we hear Founders is like the spot. So I just want to know, like, when you got there and, playing there in general, just how amazing is that stadium and, that fan base?
I mean, it's one of a kind. I mean, the the backdrop, the playing surface, the seating, scoreboard. I mean, everything stadium wise is amazing. I can't picture any other place that I'd want to play stadium wise. I think we have the best in the country. And fan base, I mean, they're one of a kind as well. I mean, you can see on Twitter that they'll back any player up regardless who they are or whatnot. So I mean, I have no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, it was one of those things because I've been to, all the SEC West spots and a couple of the East, but I hadn't been out there. And the more and more me and Daniel started interviewing guys, they just kept talking about founders. And, you watch on TV and it's like, man, I've got to get there. And so I know for a guy like yourself that's a fan, or a fan growing up and then now a player, just what it's like to be able to play there and that be your home stadium. But let's get into freshman season. You only played in 17 games with 5 starts. Also, just all around, Gamecocks weren't what they normally are. South Carolina had a real, bad season compared to what their standards are. So instead of really diving into that season and with the amount that you played, I want to ask the simple question we always ask for guys in that freshman season when there isn't much to really talk about on the good. What did you learn the most in that first year?
Definitely how to handle like failures and what it takes to be an SEC baseball player. Like definitely like the mental side of what I needed to do, prepare my body, change my body. I was a little overweight, a little sluggish. But I mean, the biggest thing is like mental toughness and how to overcome like that adversity and the failure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Kingston is easily one of our favorite coaches for all the right reasons. What is a message like from him after a season like that where you finish under 500 and things just don't go, like I said, the way South Carolina baseball typically goes?
I mean, he just sat us down in our team room and he's like, "Hey, listen here, like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like that's not who we are. We all know that. Coaches know that. Whatever." He said, "This summer is a huge building block. We need to all buy into the process and start in the summer and come back in the fall ready to work." And I mean, we just had that mindset from day one in the summer. Some people went to summer ball, figured it out. Some people stayed at Columbia, worked out every day. Did all the right things. So it was just kind of, hey, like we gotta get a grip almost.
Yeah. And one of mine and Daniel's favorite things was Will Sanders came on before that season. I love a straight shooter, and I know you fall under that category. He looked me and Daniel right in the eye on this show and said, we're probably not going to be that good this year. And a lot of guys wouldn't say that. But, and I say that to say that he came on before this past season and said that y'all were going to be awesome. And some people say, oh, of course he did. And I was like, no, the year before, he said they weren't. So it's not like this is your typical answer. And so, you talked about, and that was after the fall. And so it solidifies with what you said coach wanted y'all to do, because y'all go in there and y'all put in the work, y'all kill it in the fall. Will comes on and talks about that. And then for you, you start in 62 games, hit 307 with 62 runs scored, 18 doubles, 17 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases, and you threw out 9 guys. Let's get into a specific game. We don't like Vandy around here, so I'm gonna pick that one. I could have picked any of them. You hit 2 bombs in one game in their house. What's that feeling like being in, enemy territory, a rival of the SEC East like that, and having a multi-bomb game?
I mean, it's like what you dream of. It's why you come to play SEC baseball. You grow up watching Vanderbilt and everyone wants to go to Vanderbilt, blah blah blah. They're so good. I mean, they are very good. I'm not trying to disrespect them, but like it was it was like just a cool moment. Like I'll never forget it. Like waking up that Friday and leaving the hotel and all of a sudden I hit 2 homers in 2 innings and we're getting ready to win a Friday night game at Vanderbilt. So I mean it was a ton of fun and I'll always remember it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And so
Woke up in the double tree and then went out and hit 2 bombs. Bam.
that's right.
in front of all 500 people, that stadium's so small. I'm throwing shade. I can't help it.
A lot of this.
Yeah, the whistle. So this is where we're going to get to the part where I started defending South Carolina and I changed my tune because the LSU series, I may be, Daniel, would you say I still think I'm the only LSU fan at this point that said, not only did we steal game 2, but I'm so glad we got out of there for game 3 because we were absolutely going to lose that series. Like these LSU fans.
I was talking junk. I was like, yeah, it's a good thing y'all didn't play game 3 because South Carolina was about to put it on y'all. And I was expecting him to come back ferociously at me. And he was like, man, you're right.
I didn't think we were going to get game. I mean, we got lucky with that. And so I say that because, South Carolina at that time was playing better baseball than anybody in the country. Would you agree, Cole?
I mean, yeah, I'd have to agree. I think we were. I think if we take game 2, I think we take over the number 1 spot that week, honestly, because we were what 3 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think
y'all were fully healthy, which is the key because a lot of people, don't really understand what happened down the stretch of the season. We talked about it on here, but your casual fans don't realize just how many injuries y'all had to fight to overcome after that series. But at that time, I mean, Paul's a 2-time guest of the show. He even admitted on here y'all absolutely punched him in the mouth. But that whole series, and we would have went to game 3 at that time. Our bullpen, our pitching staff was in disarray after you go through Paul. So I don't even know who would have pitched that day, but I don't feel good about them going against you and Petrie and Casas. I'm good. Like, let's get the hell out of there. We'll take 1-1. And so, yeah, that's when I kind of flipped the script and started defending y'all because y'all were legit. Like, me and Daniel, like, these dudes could win it all. But ultimately, you have the injuries. Y'all kind of have some setbacks, but y'all get to host in regionals. And, we were just talking about Founders Park, and you were talking about the fan base. Like, now you're on the field in the postseason, something that you haven't done before. What's that atmosphere like?
Oh my! I mean, that was one of a kind. Like I will always remember playing those 3 games that we played and how I felt, and just standing out in the bullpen pregame and watching the stadium fill up, and hearing the crowd when I came up to the bat, like came up to the plate and whatnot. I mean, it was insane. Like, I will always remember that.
Yeah, and it's a good building block, because obviously the next round in the Supers doesn't go well. Like I said, y'all were facing some injuries, not to make excuses. Then Florida is a damn good team. Like, let's call it what it was. You're playing in their house. Probably leaves a pretty bitter taste in your mouth, because they are, a division foe. But nonetheless, man, you make it to Supers, which is a major bounce back from not even, like I said, being 500 the year before. So I feel like it's a good step in the right direction. So, coming into this season, a lot of guys, I just mentioned 2 of them. How confident are you feeling when you're coming into the fall this year? Even though you lost last year, y'all built and made a step in the right direction, and then you have a core nucleus coming back for this season.
I mean, we were super confident. I mean, I think everyone in the locker room realized like how good we can be. I think everyone in the locker room like had the bitter taste from last year, worked hard all summer, do what each person had to do to get ready for this fall, and we had a great fall as a team. Kind of the same thing. It was competitive, not many spots solidified, if any. So we all had to go home over winter, keep busting our tails, and we scrimmaged this past weekend, and those are some of the best scrimmages I've seen in the Carolina uniform. So
Nice. And, I want to talk about something. We've been talking about your hitting, but let's not gloss over what you maybe do better than anybody in the SEC, and that's being behind the plate. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm real good friends with Javero January. We actually just did an umpire episode last week, and he said on that episode, he said, "You're that dude." Like, when I told him I had you coming on this week, he said, "You're as good as it gets." And so, he shoots it straight. And so, let's talk about that. Like, just how much pride do you take as being a guy who, when they see you behind the plate, you're the guy that people should be emulating.
no, I mean, I take a ton of pride in it. Obviously, like I said, freshman year struggled, didn't play much, so got the chance to start opening day and didn't want to look back, and I mean, people could say that I'm the same person off the field because I mean, I'm super high energy, super like just want to like be the leader of the group, like not in a bad way, but like take charge of like what's going on, be energetic, be like a good supporter. So, I mean, I take a ton of pride in it. I do.
Yeah, and you're the guy that gets to be there for all these studs on the mound, or the young guys coming in, right? You gotta be the voice. So that's the last question I want to ask before we get into the game. Coming into this season, talk to us about some of the arms you've been getting to catch for these guys. Talk about a couple of the guys that you really expect to make a name, and then maybe a couple guys that maybe people don't know that they need to know.
So you got, I mean, we call them the big 4 right now because 4 potential starters, but Eli Jones, Matthew Becker, Roman Kimball, and another guy that people don't know is Dylan Eskew. Was on the team last year, had maybe 5-6 innings and wasn't very good those 6. Went home this summer, figured stuff out, and now he's potentially our Friday night starter. So, but I mean, we have a good group of guys, like good people. Picked up some guys from the portal, kind of the undeveloped, like just kind of raw talent. Coach Williams, we actually hired him after Coach Parker left for Mississippi State, but Coach Williams has done a great job with those like undeveloped raw guys. And I mean, you got guys like Tyler Dean, Garrett Gainey, Connor McCreary, Chris Veach. I mean, best closer in the game. I don't care what anybody says. I will die on that hill that he's the best closer in college baseball. But I mean, we're super excited, and I know that like we have the pitching staff that can do it.
Let me ask this: being a guy that's behind the dish, and you get the opportunity to catch all these guys, who is the easiest to catch?
Probably Chris Veach, because I mean I know what everything's going to do. I mean, he's high energy, wants to kill whoever's in the box. So I just kind of feed off of it and bring the same energy. So
Who's the most difficult to catch? And I don't mean like they're just wild. I mean, it's just they got good stuff. It's got late movement. It's hard to anticipate. Somebody like that. That's
no, probably like Dylan Eskew. Like I said, he worked his tail off, and his stuff's really really good. And he is hard to catch because, like you said, he's got the good stuff, the late break, all the things you want in a pitcher, but it just makes the catcher's life just a tad bit hard. So,
and who's the most fun? Who's the most fun? Where when you know they're on the mound, you're like, all right, I don't like this guy. We're gonna have a good time out here.
definitely Veach. I think me and him kind of click when he's on the mound, and we just get after it.
I was trying to look back, Daniel, and see in our group chat. Man, we text so much. Who AJ Sessions was getting bold on here. He said Liam Peterson was going to be a better freshman than Cam Johnson. He's putting Liam to the fire. He better be ready because Cam Johnson throwing that 99 from the left with that 82-mile-an-hour wipeout slider. So tell Liam the pressure's on because we got bets.
Cole said, "Let me see it. let me see it."
No, I'd be excited for
Hey,
those games.
y'all don't have LSU this year, do you?
No, I hope we play him in Hoover though.
Oh yeah. I want to play y'all in Omaha. Let's go.
That's fine. I'll be excited.
Hey, yeah, if it don't matter who, if you're in Omaha, that's what you want to do.
I'll be happy.
All right, Cole, man, we're going to get to the game before we let you get out of here. It's called This or That. It's very simple. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. Just pick one. Go with your heart. Go with your gut. Just be decisive.
All right.
Jim, who is This or That brought to you by?
Chinook Cedary.
That's right, baby. 8 flavors from mild to wild. And really, it's ever-growing flavors because, Cole, what I have done is I took all 8 flavors. I did a taste test. I've rated them all. And now we're on to mixing and matching flavors, and I'm rating those too. So tonight, we got the best of the best. In my opinion, we got the 2 best seeds that they make flavor-wise. Jalapeno Ranch, Smokehouse Barbecue. We do a little mix. And so I'm coming up with names for these mixes. And for a while, I was just coming up with the names myself. However, now I've started incorporating the guest. So I'm going to give you a couple options. And you tell me what you think the best name for Smokehouse Barbecue and Jalapeno Ranch would be. I'll give you the options. The first one is the Slobber Knocker. All right. The second one is the Porky Popper. The third one is a Fireside Fiesta. The fifth one is Smokey and the Bandit. And the last one I added just because you came on the show, and it's Sir Big Spur.
I mean, when you look at the flavors, I think it's Smokey and the Bandit.
I think so too. I like that.
I mean, you came with 5 this week. Usually you only got 3 options.
Well, because these are my favorite, and I like if I'm gonna get my 2 favorite combos, like I gotta come with.
I just hope you're not let down, being that your 2 favorite. Like, I mean, because the bar has been set so high by Smoking Toast that I just don't know.
Smoking Toast is good.
Cinnamon toast.
All right, here we go. Three of each. Let's try it.
And he brings it straight on these ratings too. Like he's giving some. He did dill pickle and smokehouse last week. So
I don't know if I'd like that.
He said the dill overtook the smokehouse. It was gross.
All right, initial reactions, very peppery, but then as it sits, you get a little sweetness, and then I got a nice little kick right now. So a little roller coaster of emotion. Here's what I'll say. I like this combination a lot. Obviously, I'm going to try not to be too biased because these are my 2 individual favorite flavors. But I think it's too much of the peppery and not enough of like the barbecue sweetness. And so because of that, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to give it a solid 7.5. I like it. It's something like, it's a nice, like, oh, it's a cool, crisp, spring, early spring day. Let me throw this in. Let me get some heat going. But it's not something I could eat for an entire game. And, that's kind of what you want to know is this a combination that you can eat the entire game, or is this like a one-off, like a dessert? Like, I really like chocolate cake, but I'm not gonna eat chocolate cake every day. So
Look, I'm such a basic bitch. Just give me my original for the whole game.
seven
Seriously.
7.5, good, not the best, but I do like it. So there's that. There is Smokey and the Bandit. Nice little combination.
Cole was
Brought to you by
disappointed.
Cole Messina.
He thought you were gonna do this or that about old Dominic Distillery. You're gonna be trying some bourbon.
Oh, I mean, let me tell you something, Cole, brother. I don't know how old you are. Drink responsibly and only don't no underage drinking. But if you're a bourbon guy, let me know.
Yeah, our new
I'll
sponsor brings it.
Yep, I'll give you the rundown. But on to the game. This or that. First question: chicken tacos or beef tacos?
Chicken.
Chicken. Are you a soft taco guy? Please tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I mean, steak trumps both of them.
True.
That's why I actually took it off there. It was on there last week. I took it off.
Mhm. I like a nice hard taco with ground beef. Just like, let me.
I mean, it ain't bad. It ain't bad, but like, it ain't.
I mean, let's be real. If you're getting a taco, is it bad? No.
You got. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
All right. Liquid soap or bar soap? And this seems like a funny question, but it's sweeping the nation. Like it really is. This has been one that we've thrown in there this season, and people have off to the races with this. So liquid soap or bar soap?
I think I'm going liquid.
3 out of 4, Daniel, surprisingly, took bar soap last week. It was a good week for bar.
I took a shower with bar soap. And this is totally off topic. And this is gonna like really probably aggravate some people. But if you have bar soap, do you use a washcloth, like a rag?
That's what I'm saying. Like
You're-
liquid just depletes everything. Like,
You're supposed to, but I don't.
I don't either.
But
And
I don't
think
share
to
mine
myself-
with anybody either, though. Like,
But part of me is like, I don't even know if I'd care if I did. It's soap. It's supposed like
it does clean itself pretty much.
right. So, anyhow, off topic, but I just
well, I say it like that, Daniel, because, like, for instance, the last thing I wash is my feet. Like, and the first thing I wash is my face. Like, so am I gonna hand that over to my wife or son or whoever's taking the shower next? Even though it's self-cleansing, it feels kind of rude.
I mean, if you hop in my shower and you grab the bar, you got to know what's up. You gotta be ready. All right, Cole. Red uniforms or black uniforms?
Like for us,
Yeah,
Yeah,
for our
man.
team,
Yeah.
gotta go black.
I love the black, but man, you when you go your traditional colors, that's why I put it on there.
Gotta go black. I mean,
Do you guys got a pretty traditional fan base for baseball? Do you guys get backlash over black? Like, are they like, oh, that's
Like Mississippi State. Mississippi
Yeah.
State fans cannot stand that they have black uniforms.
no. Well, not as like that is public knowledge. Not that like the players know.
If you used black uniforms at LSU, Daniel, they would riot in the streets.
And those people need to just. Never mind. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna be nice.
Don't talk about our people, man.
You're right. Got good people over there. Just bad taste. All right. Better bombs. You or Casas?
Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's got to be him. Like, I mean, he has some pretty majestic ones. I'll give it to him.
Look, that's how well.
I mean, definitely Gavin. Like,
that's how well I know him.
He
Daniel.
didn't hit it off the top of the building.
Daniel, I put Casas in the next round because I knew he would say that. I had a feeling he would not say himself.
All right.
it's just like, I mean, it's hard. Like, I don't hit like the farthest ones. Like him and Petrie blow me out of the water when it comes to distance and all that stuff.
Funny you should go
Like,
there.
I mean, they both
Yeah,
hit some
you should go there.
they hit some majestic.
Who hits him better than Casas or Petrie?
Oof. Golly. How about putting me on the spot?
I mean, are they your roommates or anything like that?
No, they're not roommates, but
Right.
they're good buddies.
All right. Well,
Um,
then they'll be all right if you pick one.
Hey,
Maybe it'll motivate. Maybe it'll be motivation going into the season. Who knows? Like,
I mean, I'll give it to Petrie just because he hit more of them.
that's my team captain. You better give it to him. Who's
Yeah.
Cole's on AJ's team, isn't he?
I believe so. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, you
Rolling.
were probably pretty pissed when he got him.
I was. Right now, I'm in a dilemma, but
The Zane Denton dilemma.
yeah,
Daniel's gonna have to replace somebody off his Survivor team if he don't play.
Cole, we're doing a college baseball Survivor.
I saw something about it, but I didn't know a whole lot about it.
Well, it's very simple. Like, we have 4 tribes of 8 players. Every week, the player with the worst performance is going to get voted off their tribe. When we get down to conference play, we're going to merge them all to one tribe. And then it's every week, one person gets eliminated. And that'll leave us with 3 players going into the week of the conference tournament. The person with the best conference tournament, well, they'll all play, but then we'll let those who got voted out weigh in and vote on who they think should win.
Well, what makes it like Survivor is there's immunity idols. Y'all can win them too. There's certain things like, so for a hitter, if you have 3 bombs in one weekend or you have a 5-for-5 game, you can then gain an immunity idol that can protect you the next week if you happen to like do bad.
Yep.
Huh. I like that. That's pretty cool.
But Ethan is my captain, and we picked the team together, so we're locked solid on this.
So
I can't believe y'all let me get Tanks in my second. I was able to get Ethan and Tommy White. This is over, man.
Well, I mean, we knew where your head was leaning. Like, I'm fine with my tribe. My tribe, we'll
see. We'll see.
Okay. All right, costume party or pool party?
You can't beat Halloween right now in college. I'll be honest. I've got to go costume.
That's true. Ain't that the truth? Did you dress up for Halloween this year?
I did.
What were you? What was your
I was
costume?
Ricky Bobby.
There you go.
Nice, a little shake and bake.
That's right.
Would you rather be lost in a jungle or trapped in a haunted house?
I'd rather jungle. Good Lord. Or like a real haunted house or like make believe haunted house?
Like an
actual
it'd be
haunted
real.
house.
I mean, I guess real, but it's hard for me to say. Like, we're gonna make the assumption that it's real.
All right, we'll go real.
Man, I just want you to know, in the jungle, those tigers, snakes, gorillas, like all this, it'll mess you up. No problem. Just like anything in that haunted house will.
I'll take jungle.
Oh, wow. But you're a hunter, so I feel like you would thrive in the jungle.
I don't know about thrive, but be better off than locked in a house.
Be better than me in the jungle. I'd take the haunted house all day. All day. All right, private yacht or private jet?
Jet.
Jet. You can go anywhere, man, quickly.
Exactly.
You're not just, isolated to the water. All right, last question, and we'll let you get out of here. Would you rather be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, or would you rather win a national championship? So
national championship.
Oh,
Another liar.
I mean,
I swear, I promise you.
So Cole, it's last year, the number 1 pick gets $10 million. If I was like, hey Cole, here's a briefcase full of Chris Mint $100 bills to the sum of $10 million. All you gotta do is sign your name right here.
Nope.
Or I'll take this.
He's not buying it. He beat you to it. He said nope again. I'll give you this. I tell this to every guest that comes on that says no, because we have very few say yes anymore. Paul Skeens came on here after he was the number 1 pick and said that he would give the money and the draft pick back and keep his championship. So I have to believe you guys.
I'm telling you, like you. And at the end of the day, if you're winning national championship, everyone on your team is probably having a pretty good year. To make some
that's what they
money.
say. The memories are, there's no price you can put on them, and they're irreplaceable. You can take them with you forever.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'll say I think college baseball is so hard to win it all. so hard. It's just you have to win so much and you have to play really well for so long, and it's just a difficult
Or
process.
like last year, you have to win the war of attrition.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta make it there. Once you make it there, you got a chance. But
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing, just making it there.
yep, got to give yourself the opportunity. Well, Cole, it's been a blast, man. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
I think I'm all right. I don't really have a whole lot of. I'm not like Roman. Hey, check out my YouTube video.
Don't do Roman like that, man. I like what he's doing
Nah,
for
I
the
ain't.
game.
I ain't doing. He loves it. I can't. I ain't gonna say nothing. That's what he enjoys to do. So
Hey, you like to hunt? He likes to,
that's right.
video log and do his thing, man. So
I mean, if anybody wants to take me duck hunting in Louisiana,
let's go.
There you
Jim,
go.
you probably got a
Thanks,
connection down there. Come on, man.
And
I
yeah,
mean, I'm
Alex Milazzo, duck hunting is more important than baseball to him, believe it or not. He said it
Oh
on
yeah.
the show. You were here. He would not care anything about the fact that Cole plays for South Carolina, and he would be like, "Let's go duck hunting, brother."
Like you tell him to text me.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all have so much in common. Same position, everything. Let's go.
No, yeah, he's cool. I mean, I talked to a bunch of those guys obviously when we played them, and I mean, I did like everybody that goes to LSU. So
All
There
right.
you go.
Well, I'll help you out a little bit. If you want to know more about Cole Messina, you want to see what he's doing on a Monday, maybe it is podcast for him, or maybe it's Taco Tuesday and he's enjoying a nice South taco with some chicken. Who knows? Go to IG, see Messina 19, or if you want to check out what South Carolina baseball is up to, Gamecock Baseball. You get highlights, you get scores, you get updates, you get hype videos, you get footage of our boy Cole Messina playing middle infield. I mean, you got to check that out. Looks good. You might even see highlights of him hitting balls over buildings, over green monsters, you name it. Cole, it's been a blast, man. We wish you a healthy, happy, successful, and magical run this season. If there's anything we can do for you along the way, man, reach out to us, brother.
no, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That's Cole Messina, everybody. If you like hearing Cole's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, loves. We'll take it all. We'll see everybody. I mean, we got quite the rundown this week. Tomorrow, we're talking Arkansas baseball with Gage Wood. And then we'll be back Wednesday with Ole Miss baseball with JT Quinn. And then Thursday, we're hitting gymnastics hard again with Arkansas gymnast Cammie Weaver. So another strong lineup this week with the In Off the Bench crew. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.